George Lucas just took a giant, monumental dump on Disney's Star Wars, and he did it in a very strategic way, in a very subtle way, and he did it with this quote right here. Now, this quote was a response. He was asked about Star Wars, and all he wants to do is just promote his museum. That's all he's been trying to do. He's just been trying to promote this museum that he spent like $1 billion on. But people keep reminding him of Star Wars. And this is what George Lucas said. Disney took it over and they gave it their vision. That's what happens. Of course, I've moved past it. Now, I want you to ask yourself something. When else would you hear a statement like this? When else? Anyone who has been in a relationship, right? A relationship that you truly cared about. Like, say it was a marriage, a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and something catastrophic happens. Maybe she cheated, right? Maybe she asked for a divorce. Maybe something happened and you're brokenhearted. And people keep bringing it up. What happened to so-and-so? Well, you might say something very similar to this. You know, they had their story. They did what they did. And that's what happens. Of course, I've moved past it. Now ask yourself, if George Lucas was proud in any way of what Disney has done with Star Wars, and there's plenty of subject matter there, right? You have the Kenobi series. You have the Mandalorian. You have the Acolyte. You have the Acolyte. Right? There's plenty there to talk about. I mean, you would think that if George Lucas was in any way pleased with any of this dog shit, he would have said so. He would have said, you know what, I do like what they did here, or it was very creative that they did this. But he didn't say any of that. He didn't even say, oh, good for them. I'm very, I'm happy for what they're doing. No, I'm excited. Nothing. There's no optimism here. There's nothing there. And he has been vocal about Star Wars in the past. We've all heard what he said in the past about selling off his baby, right, to white slavers, he said, which was wild at the time. And now, honestly, it's very tame compared to this statement. But it's very clear that George Lucas is kind of heartbroken, I think, about what Disney did to Star Wars. And I think the sentiment is definitely felt with real Star Wars fans, right? We're heartbroken. I think we all went through the grieving process, right? There was anger. There was heartbreak. There was I forget the names of the steps, but where you're trying to like make excuses, right? People were trying to make excuses, say, oh, if we get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, if we put Dave Filoni in there, good things will happen. Dave Filoni is the second coming of George Lucas, right? Denial. I think that's what it is. Denial. And now we're done. We're good. We've moved past it. We've moved past it. There's nothing left. There's nothing there for us to go back to. I mean, I guess you can still go back and watch 1 through 6. I still will, because that's still, say what you will, it's still George Lucas's Star Wars. It's still real Star Wars. And I'm not even going to call it George Lucas's Star Wars. I'm just going to call it Star Wars. I'm going to call it what it is. With Disney Star Wars, you do have to say Disney Star Wars, because that's a completely different entity. It's a completely different thing. And honestly, I'm sad. It's seeing this makes me sad. More so for George Lucas. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. And like always, don't forget to subscribe. Sensational.